I'm sure I don't need to explain the importance of the low end in modern music. For some styles, like hip-hop or drum and bass, a deep and solid bass is the foundation upon which the rest of the song is built. For ages, mixing engineers have used equalizers to control it, and it's still tool number one to manipulate a sound's tone. But what if you have to deal with a recording where a bottom end got lost as a result of a bad microphone technique? Or perhaps a bass player used a small bass cabinet incapable of producing a chest-shacking sound? Or what if there's not enough bass signal for any reason? In these cases, the EQ won't help much. Ideally, we must recreate a missing bottom end somehow, and that's what MBassador, a new plugin from Melda Production, is intended for. It's a very simple and yet powerful tool. Here is a quick demo of its skills. Impressive, isn't it? So how does it work? As I already mentioned, MBassador resynthesizes missing low frequencies based on a signal's existent mid-range harmonics. It consists of 4 major modules, a crossover, and 3 simple generators. We can clearly see them on the user interface. The crossover is employed to split an input signal into 2 bands. The range parameter sets a split frequency between them. Frequencies higher than this value won't be affected. The correct setting will be between the lowest available harmonic and the rest, here. It's very easy to do if the sound is playing within 1 octave. If it's covering a wider range, then use your ears to get what you want or apply an automation to shift this parameter accordingly. The sonogram is especially helpful with this task. The separation controller defines the slope of filters. The higher the value, the deeper the separation. In most cases, 24 decibels per octave works fine. But if you're dealing with a dense spectrum, or as in the previous example, if the range of your sound exceeds 1 octave, you will probably need a higher slope. Just bear in mind, high values introduce a strong phase distortion that in turn affects the signal's envelope. To avoid that, try the linear phase option on the right. It won't suit for live performance as it introduces a latency. However, in a studio with a modern host program, you shouldn't have any problems. Lower, we find 3 generators. They all have the same parameters. The first one, bass, regenerates the original harmonic we split by the crossover. This one. Use the level parameter to set its level. By doing so, we are changing the level of the original harmonic. The saturation adds higher harmonics. If the original bass was lacking high harmonics, it may sound muffled in the mix. Moreover, it might not be heard on small speakers at all. By adding extra harmonics, we extend the spectrum of a bass sound towards the mid-frequencies. And now it can be heard even on the small computer speakers. The saturation also helps to control the dynamics of the regenerated signal, as it can be quite high. At -100%, the saturation is off. At that, the module produces the cleanest sound with a possible high peak level. At 0%, the saturation is fully engaged for an optimal peak level and harmonic content. Finally, values above 0% provide some additional harmonics, which may, however, increase the peak level again. The tone, in essence, is a low-pass filter, passing those extra harmonics we have just discussed. At 0%, its frequency coincides with the frequency of the range parameter. At minus 100%, it's 1 octave below. Respectively, at plus 100%, it's 1 octave above of the value set by the range. Use the tone in conjunction with the saturation to shape both the harmonic content and its dynamics. The sub and sub 2 are two sub-harmonic generators. They produce sub-harmonics correspondingly 1 and 2 octaves below the one generated by the bass. Functionality of the tone and saturation controllers is exactly the same as in the bass module. Just keep in mind, here you add not only harmonics of the original, but also some extra partials that don't belong to it. That can create an unexpected effect, like two instruments playing an octave. If you have come across such an issue, try decreasing the saturation. With sources like drums though, you shouldn't have any funny outcome. The solo bass button allows you to audition the harmonics produced by 3 generators. The general parameters are located on the very top. The bass dry sets the level of the dry signal of the crossover's low band. The wet controller adjusts the level of all generators together. At the bottom of the user interface, we find each module's meter that gives us a good presentation of the generated signal levels. That's all from me. Now it's your time to have fun with it.